So in modern homes, you have a lot of different types of circuit breakers that may trip. Sometimes they're just regular breakers. Sometimes it's a circuit breaker that's a breaker and an AFCI or arc fault. Sometimes it's a breaker and a GFCI or ground fault. And sometimes it's a breaker that's both a GFCI and an AFCI, which means multiple reasons why they can trip. A normal breaker trips when the current has exceeded the current number listed on the breaker. So if you have a 20 amp breaker and the current exceeds 20 amps for a necessary amount of time, the breaker will trip. In order to reset it, you have to push it all the way off and then all the way back on. If it's an arc fault breaker, anything that causes an arc, whether it's maybe a vacuum you plugged in that had the motor arced a little bit, something like that, or some sort of issue actually in the circuit, in the outlet, something's going wrong, that will cause that to trip so that way you don't get a fire. Same thing with GFCI. It will trip if there is a ground fault, an unsafe condition that could potentially cause you to be shocked. Or potentially if you are getting shocked, the GFCI is going to make sure that it trips, shuts off the circuit, and keeps you safe. In all those cases, when it's within the breaker itself, you push the breaker all the way to the off position and all the way to the on position, only once. There are some conditions that can occur intermittently that could cause that to happen. Maybe you had a power storm or something like that that could have caused it. And so I would never tell a homeowner not to reset a breaker, but only do it once. If it trips again, contact a professional because you potentially have an unsafe condition that needs to be addressed. We don't want you getting shocked. We don't want the appliances in your home getting damaged, and we do not want fires. Those are the three things that AFCI, GFCI, and circuit breakers are there to help protect as a strategy in your home. And it's important that you get those underlying causes fixed. Maybe something very simple, but it's not worth taking a risk with your family's safety. And the more that you continue to reset that, the more you could be causing that underlying problem to get worse.